I was talking to someone about the New York City rats, and specifically about if like the Manhattan rats and the Brooklyn rats like know each other, if they like meet up ever. And so then, of course, naturally, I Googled how far do rats travel from their nest, and I found a couple different sources saying that the average rat travels usually only up to like 100, 300 yards from its nest, but they can travel up to a mile if they want to. So then we were wondering, like, okay, are there different like kinds of rats? You know, are there rats that are like distinctly Manhattan and like distinctly Brooklyn? Can you tell like where do they live? Like how do they, so they're not traveling to each other, like is that creating little like gene pools? It is. It is, and someone's doing research on it. This guy, Matthew Combs, he's a grad student at Fordham University, and he has been studying rats for the past 2 years. He and his colleagues have been trapping them and taking DNA samples. They cut off their tails and keep them in vials so that they have like DNA to test from that. And basically what they said is that they are genetically distinct. The uptown and downtown rats, and like midtown, there's kind of a break, because there's not as much like food, there's not as many like homes, and there's also not as many places for the rats to like shelter. And again, if you're a rat who only has a radius of like 300 yards, you're not gonna live somewhere where there's just like not all of the things that you need really close by. So that's something interesting to know too. And this like research team said that if you give them any rat in New York City, they could tell you like where it's from. They literally said, give us a rat and we can tell you if it's from uptown or downtown, and like probably what neighborhood it's in. And another interesting thing is that the rat neighborhoods, like they do like live in like clusters and little neighborhoods, and they very closely mirror like human neighborhoods, which I guess also makes sense, because like where are rats getting food if not for humans? They literally ran around all the parks and in people's gardens, and they got permission from the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation to do this, but they also used a crowdsourced map of rat sighting. Unfortunately, the article I was reading for all of this linked a Civil War book instead of the crowdsourced rat map, so I don't know really much about that, but super fascinating, super interesting. That's what I did last night.
So this is why
But I was talking to someone about the New York City rats.
This right here is why I was depending on the tech squad, because why? And you know what? But I'll say this. I knew Bronx rats were different. I knew they were different. There's something very aggressive about these Bronx rats. Aggressive and don't care. I saw a Bronx rat scale a fence. I didn't know rats could climb fences, but I saw a Bronx rat do one. So I knew Bronx rats were different than these bougie Manhattan rats. And even, I don't know, these gutter Brooklyn rats. But I knew it. But who? Why? Why was this video sent to me? And then there was another one in that email. Dare I not click on the other link? What can I say about this? Oh my gosh.
Be a part of the live show with thousands of other viewers. Go to TonyaTKO.com/text and join the text notification squad and get a text whenever I go live. Support the show and yourself, and I'll see you on the next live broadcast.